This is Tyson Nash. You're listening to Missin Curfew.
What's Missin Curfew? It's when you kind of play guilty, but you show up.
How nice is a green light on the road, though? No practice tomorrow, no plane, just go.
Scotty Upshaw in the clear, and he scores! Right in front, scores!
A few laughs, a little bit of fun, and obviously a lot of hockey talk.
You're listening to Missin Curfew.
Fellas, coming to you from Hall Pass Media, Newport Beach, this is Missin Curfew. And before we start snapping around, this show is always presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Obes, the updog, and our boy, 93-1, Swishy Swish. To the fellas at Missin Curfew, everybody knows that Schmaltzy is a team guy, right? Our boy Richie extends his stay, doesn't want to go back to the desert because it's 110. Stays at the friendly confines of the Bay Club again. Wakes up this morning not feeling well. We've all been there. I text Swishy 15, 20 minutes before puck drop. Fella, can you fucking step in for Richardson? What does he do? Doesn't even hesitate. Says, let me charge my laptop. Swishy, you're a fucking team guy, fella.
He's already got his skates on. He's ready to go. He's got his mic. This is box. Fuck, he's here. He's here, folks. Swishy, how are you, bud?
Yeah. Back, boys, at about, I think I got off the tarmac at about midnight last night. Miami-Dade County. Back in the mix. But yeah, I'm here, boys. I'm ready to play. I'm like 7-Eleven. I'm always open. Obes, a funny story. I actually got called late into a game because I was always mostly scratch my time up in the National League. But I got called in late. Jay Bomeister was coming off of hip surgery. And he said to the media that day after morning skate, yep, I'm good to go. He took warm-up, deemed himself not able to go. They gave me a call. I got to Scott Trade at the time, the Enterprise Center, in like 7 minutes. First shift against the Ducks, over the glass penalty fell. I was like, oh no. Oh, yeah.
Not your fault. Not your fault. It hit a stick. It hit a stick.
That was tough. I was sitting in the box and I just felt like such a pigeon. But anyways, I'm here, boys. We had a great snap with Tyson Nash. I feel like I got out of that 1+1. So always ready to go, Obes, over here.
Fuck, flipping over the glass as a D-man is a bad feeling. And icing it when you have like so much time and you ice it, that's a bad feeling too. Those are the two, like, and then the guys from the bench are like, nice play, O'Brien. Nice fucking play.
I'll just get walked by like the fourth line fighter. Then you're like, that wasn't so bad, right? That was a good body position on him.
Like I saw Tyler Myers come around the net last night and he had 4 seconds to make a play. And he iced it, didn't come close to anyone's stick.
It's a good play for him.
I know, I'm like, Jesus, this guy, like, for as big as he is, he can chop it up sometimes.
That's the worst. When you ice it from your own goal line and it goes 200 feet, you feel like such a bird.
You do. And the boys are giving it to you like, fuck, nice play, O'Brien. You fucking... Swishy, I've been following along. Your content was unbelievable. Listen, I got involved in the World Baseball Classic. I would like to know what those Venezuelan boys did in Miami after they won that fucking game. Listen, they were buzzing. I mean, the atmosphere was unbelievable. That atmosphere was unbelievable, Swishy.
It was crazy. And for the last pitcher out, I was sitting in the outfield bar, and it was just full of just Venezuelan talent and dudes. And they all had their vuvuzelas. They all had drums. They were, champagne shower with the Bud Heavies. It was insane. It was like a soccer game on steroids. One of the coolest events, honestly, I've ever been to as far as a baseball game, for sure. But it was a lot of fun. And those people, man, they party so hard. It was a Venezuelan takeover at that game. I was just looking for Maduro. He wasn't there, but nonetheless, hell of a time.
Yeah, and it grows the game, right? Like, I love baseball. I got one team, the Jays, as you boys know. I don't really watch, any other baseball than that. Maybe Sunday Night Baseball in the summertime, but I'm an average baseball follower, and I was into it. And, it's just why best on best is the best. It just grows your game so much and gets to people's attention that don't watch it, up, dog.
Yeah, and we'll jump into this, but it happens before the season, which I think is smart.
Yeah.
Gets the guys all juiced up. It gets the fans involved, international fans involved and excited for the season. It checked all the boxes. We had our boy, big guy, take his son Nick's in there, said it was the best experience he's been at a sporting event, which says a lot because the guy's on the road 300 days a year, games, practices, fucking nightlife. He sees it all.
Yeah, he does.
But yeah, no, it was good for business. I think when you have the best of the best, and in baseball specifically, it's truly, a test of time with the countries and different languages and you just look at the way Japan jumps around Otana, or he's a king over there, and to the way the U.S. and the Americans jumped on the bandwagon for us. And I thought you'd tell us, Schmaltzy, but Miami had to have been a perfect place to hoist this event with all the different cultures that it has there, especially the South American,
the Latin flavor. So it's the Latin flavor.
Yeah, the IANs, as Michael Irvin would say. It's the Puerto Ricans, the Colombians, the Venezuelans. So it's the atmosphere. The atmosphere was perfect. And I think it's just cool to, like, for the U.S. players, I think in years past, the World Baseball Classic, it goes back to, I believe, 2013. But I don't think they have that sense of pride and just overall just American spirit and patriotism if the U.S. hockey boys don't do what they do at the Olympics, inquiring in, that's baseball, the quotes like that. So I just think that on that stage for hockey, what it did for America, and then obviously the U.S. guys playing baseball, they had a sense of unity that they've never seen before. So I thought that was really cool and how they parlayed that into ultimately the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, and that definitely, the hockey, the men and the women winning the hockey gold medal definitely helped. And they tried, but I still looked at Team USA in that clubhouse and I was like, they still don't have it. Like, they really, like, they care, but they don't care like the hockey boys care.
They're making too much dough.
Yeah, like Scooble, like, you couldn't have went out there and pitched a couple innings. Like, I know he's about to sign for $500 million, but like, if you cared, you get out there and be like, all right, boys, I'll give you fucking one inning here.
I read something, there was an actual rule. Like,
there's a bunch of rules on pitching.
Because it's so early in the season. And
they have to protect their arms.
I think that was a legit thing.
That's the only, no, he didn't run out innings. He just pitched one time against the first game of the year, and he's got 1 year left on his deal. I don't know, Swishy, like that Venezuela team, the Dominican teams, and listen, Swishy, I know you're a swag guy. You like to hack to the side like Rodney back in the day. Have you ever seen teams like the Dominican Republic and Venezuela pimping these home runs? I mean, they were coming out, the whole team, fake selfies, jumping around. I'm like, this is fucking out of control.
So sick. I mean, all those guys, Tatis Jr., I mean, even Miguel Cabrera, Miggy, being on the bench for Venezuela, he came out throughout the first pitch with Ken Griffey Jr., a.k.a. Penn Griffey Jr., but it was a spectacle, boys. Like, those guys, like, even in warm-ups, watching Acuna just rake. Like, he's one of my favorite players in all of baseball. And just their swings down there in those Latin countries are just different. I don't know what they're on, but they got the loose backs down there, Opes.
Yeah, the humidity down there. Hey, they grew up with that humidity. And I saw a couple baseball parks in Dominican when I went down there for the franchise Shane Taylor's wedding. It made the park that I grew up in look like Yankee Stadium. So they're used to playing it. They can play anywhere. You want to play, they'll play in the parking lot if you have to. So switching, before we move on, I talk about the big guy about this too. How are the airports, fella? How are you dealing with how's the travel? I've been thinking about you dealing with were you waiting around a lot or no?
I was actually, we dodged a couple of bullets because we got out of Chicago on Saturday after the games 1 and 2 of the Yug-Off. Down 0-2, the boys over here. I saw that, but a lot of ball that we played, so not worried about that. I was still drunk, to be honest, when I woke up on Saturday. Like, I was still just licked from the night before. Overshot it for sure. So Saturday was fine. We got into Miami, got a nap, and then actually it was okay leaving Dade County as well yesterday. So, but a lot of people were getting delayed, as you were saying.
Yeah.
I know people that were stuck in Miami for 3 days.
That would suck.
Yeah. How's that soccer rink looking, by the way? That one right next to the airport. It's coming, right? It's ready for World Cup.
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty much done, if not done. Yeah, it looks good.
Fucking David Beckham. He touches gold. Guy's fucking tattoos and perfect suits and rich and hot wife. And now he's got a sick brand new fucking soccer stadium right in Miami.
Yeah. Well, what did he make playing soccer? He made a ton of dough playing soccer too, right? And with endorsements.
He just likes cooking now and fucking being like a farm animal.
Yeah, he's a decent jawline. Good kill count, I'm sure. Good haircut. Boys, sticking with the World Cup. The World Cup of Hockey has been announced. Prague. Swish, you might have to represent Missin Curfew, fella tour Prague. I don't know if
I'm coming.
I'm there. All right. Fella tour Prague, we're coming.
I still know a few words. And however.
That is going to be, listen, as we've talked before, Prague is an unbelievable city. That is going to be fun for that division or that pool over there. And then, the boys in Alberta, the Updog boys are going to be happy. Calgary and Edmonton. Listen, I wanted to be in Vegas selfishly. I just thought it would have been great at T-Mobile. Gives everyone a reason to get into Vegas, but Swishy, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts on where the World Cup of Hockey is going to be in 28, and it's in February?
Yeah, I just think, I mean, Gary, Bruce, Bettman, and those guys decided ultimately it's going to be 2 cities in Canada. I do agree with Calgary with the new arena. I think that's going to create a ton of buzz. I just don't think you need 2 cities in the same province. Nonetheless, I would have loved to seen obviously a Vegas, Chicago, maybe even New York. I would say Chicago and Vegas would be my front runners, probably leaning towards Vegas just because it's a destination city, and especially for Americans. And I just think leaving a U.S. city off, I mean, it's been talked about a little bit, especially, throughout USA hockey. But I just think it's kind of bullshit that they didn't include a U.S. city. Like, what's the reasoning there? I mean, is it just because the travel is going to be easier if you have it in Calgary and Edmonton, and obviously Prague on the other side? But I just think that was kind of a cop-out, and especially, after winning the Olympics, like, let's give us a bone here.
I think it's a little bit of both. You just touched on it. It could be the brand new arena in Calgary's great. It's going to be spectacular. The Stampede's there. It's got a great buzz around the rink. You're going to have little parties outside, but you're going to be freezing your nuts off.
Yeah.
But we're talking about this thing being every 4 years?
Yeah.
So I see the next one being in 2 American cities that are close, that, not having to fly 10 teams around from different cities to different cities. Those cost of we know what jet fuel's like. We don't, we can't afford it here at Missin Curfew, but the owners and the leagues, and I don't know who's fronting that bill to fly everyone, because it's not the countries. So it's probably the NHL fronting the bill on the travel. I would see, and I would expect that the NHL's smart enough to do the next World Cup of Hockey in 2 American cities, whether it's Chicago, New York, pretty tight, or Chicago, Detroit, not too bad to get to. But you know what I mean? It's if you stationed a 10-day tournament in Vegas and Edmonton, you're flying these fucking teams back and forth. I just maybe I could be completely wrong, but I see the next one being in 2 American cities.
Yeah, I was disappointed. Listen, I'll be up there. I'll go up to Cowtown, check out the new barn. Just having the finals in Edmonton, to me, or the semis and the finals in Edmonton, I'm not sure which one it is, but to me, like I said, I thought it was Vegas. Either way, we're getting best on best. And man, Prague, look out over there. Look out over there.
They hit that one right on the head.
Right on the head. That was
perfect. I mean, Prague is an amazing city.
Amazing city. So I can't wait, boys. Best on best. Sticking with best on best here, Updog. Your boy, Jack Hughes. He's a little chap fella. The puck, the golden goal is in Toronto at the Hockey Hall of Fame, and Jack Hughes thinks his puck should be in his fucking
dad's
at his fucking condo in Jersey or wherever he's living. Listen, I love Jack Hughes. I love everything he's done. The way he's been a patriot for this country. Obviously, he broke my heart and a bunch of Canadian hearts. But unfortunately, Jack, that's not your puck to have. That has to go to the Hall of Fame. And maybe he's just chapped because it's in Canada. Like, what if it was in the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame down here? Would he be less chapped, Swishy, that it's back in Canada and Toronto?
I don't think so. I think he's just such a hockey lifer and a hockey nerd in the right way of that's his puck he scored. I was thinking about it, Obes and Uppy. Like, what if you were just to give that to Jack Hughes for, a couple of years, and then he donates it back? It's not like he's going to be, walking around that thing like Happy Gilmore. Do you always carry a puck on you and lose it, right? I just think for him, what if he had that thing for 3 or 4 years, and then ultimately he can send it away to the Hall of Fame? Like, or is that something that just has to go in there right away?
Yeah, they're probably worried someone might steal it, or
I mean, so standard protocol is it gets secured immediately by officials, right? And it gets logged, authenticated, and documented by it's an IHF puck.
Who grabbed that? Who was the guy that had to go grab that biscuit? The ref, the liney? Who grabbed that puck when all hell broke loose, I wonder?
Someone smart should have stuck it down their pants.
Yeah, I would say it was probably number 95, Johnny Murray, or number 5, Chris Rooney.
Yeah, that grabbed it, right?
Yeah, yep.
That'd be interesting. We should find out who it is. But it's basically a legal transaction at the moment it's scored. The IHF obviously owns the puck. They own everything there. They own the net. They own everything. They don't own Jack's stick, for example. So his stick would be donated on his. It would be his doing if he gave a stick or his skates or his helmet or his gloves. I think it's an honor. So it's an honor to get something in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
There's no question. It's there forever.
I'm going to say this to Jack Hughes too. You've gotten enough, Jack. All right, you've gotten enough here. He's had a nice stretch here of right.
I think there's a great spin to this, Schmaltzy, where you could start creating authentic pucks, you know, or Jack could go out and make like an actual golden puck and be like, you know what, this is the real one anyway. You know, this is the real one that everyone wants. That one there is locked in some museum in Toronto. But hey, I make my own, you know, there's a way to spin it off. Our boy Loops had a funny text saying he should go full Ocean's 11 and fucking jump in there and go beneath the lasers and fucking. I tried to look up how you would actually steal something from the Hockey Hall of Fame. It actually laughed at me. ChatGPT was like, "Sorry, up dog. This is one you're not gonna fucking climb this ladder." Well, because I would do it for Jack. If I really wanted it, I'd get in there. I'd put on my.
If you went in there and stole that puck,
style,
you would be selling that puck. Don't be telling me you'd give it back to Jack Hughes.
No, I'm a collector.
You'd sell that fucking thing,
but I'd be collecting it.
Swishy, is there a U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame like physically where you can go in and is there? Does that exist?
I think so. I don't know where that is.
Yeah.
But I think there is because, you know, the guys like, you know, Chris Chelios, Brett Hall, they're obviously all elected into it. I don't know where it is, though, to be honest.
Because if there's physically one, then I think Jack does have a complaint there. If he was like, hey, listen, I get it. You guys, but I want it in the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame.
No,
yes,
it's not Hall of Fame.
There's not.
It's in Minnesota, boys.
What is it, though, Casey?
It's like a little museum, United States Hockey Hall of Fame museum.
Yeah, but that's for U.S. hockey. Okay, yeah, but yeah, it's not like
if Jack said I wanted it there, I could see that argument. I could say, okay, listen, you first fucking gold medal since the 80s. We're gonna put the puck in the United States Hockey Hall of Fame. But for Jack, he wants to keep it or whatever. It's too important. It's got to be somewhere where it's going to be forever.
I love that people just were so upset with this comment. Like, who gives a shit? Like,
Yeah.
he says, fuck my dad. Like, it'd be great to be able to keep the puck and give it to my dad. He's the ultimate hockey dad. You know, Walter Gretzky, if he wanted something of Wayne's back in the day, the Hockey Hall of Fame might go, yeah, you could keep it at the house for a bit.
Yeah, that goal's bigger than Jack Hughes and his family, though. Uppy.
I love that. I love that just people fucking lost their mind about this, and it's like hilarious. That's just a conversation. Like,
I don't think people lost their mind over it.
Well, it's been talked about for 2 fucking straight days. This is all people want to talk about. And everyone's chirping Jack. I'm like, who gives a shit? The guy wants to give his dad something memorable.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So it was a great talk.
The guy from the Hall of Fame gave him some shit.
I know. It's like, hey, buddy with the white gloves, like, chill out. It's just a fucking fuck.
The guy from the Hall of Fame was like, hey, he's lucky to even play hockey.
Exactly.
I didn't hear that.
No, he came out right away with a comment. This got circulated, like Casey said. But listen, this puck will travel too, by the way. Things in Fort McMurray just had an event, Kelly Buchberger and fucking a bunch of old Oilers were up there. I got a picture of my Royal Bank Cup and World Junior stuff that's in the Hockey Hall of Fame that's traveled. So this puck will...
It's not the golden goal, fella.
This puck will travel like the Stanley Cup does. If they want it down at the museum in the USA of Hockey and do like a showcase of the Olympics for these guys, it's going to travel. It's not there and locked away forever. This thing will see its light of day in a U.S., situation at some point.
Yeah, I think when Jack steps back and realizes how cool it is that it is in the Hockey Hall of Fame, like, I'm sure he wanted to give it to his dad. Fuck, we'd all want to give the golden goal puck to our dad. We wouldn't have been in the NHL without our mom and dads. But I think when he looks back at this and he realizes that puck is sitting in the Hockey Hall of Fame, and for the rest of his life, it's going to be his golden goal sitting there for his kids, his grandkids, that to me is the ultimate compliment. Right?
Of course.
Like, right now he's like, hey, I want my puck. I want to give it to my dad. I fucking just scored the golden goal. I get it. But I do think Swishy, when he looks back as he gets older, and every time he goes to Toronto to play the Leafs, he goes in there and sees his fucking stick and puck. I mean, to me, that is the ultimate, like, tip of the cap. You're in the fucking your golden goals in the Hockey Hall of Fame. That's kind of where I was going with it.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, and also just, big picture too, right? It's just like in the moment, hey, I kind of want that puck.
Yeah.
I think as time goes, like you said, he'll realize that it's bigger. It's a bigger moment than just Jack Hughes scoring the goal. It was for the country. It was for, the 1980. There's so much build up to, ultimately making that moment. And there's been a lot of guys that have fallen short before him in terms of USA hockey players. And Yeah, but he's such a good kid too. He's like, yo, like this just got taken way too far out of context. Like everyone chill out. And then he went up and put up 2 goals at MSG. How are you?
Yeah, I'm sure it's not bugging Jack Hughes one bit. That
No,
people-
so Hellebuck was on with the Tkachuk brothers, and they asked him like, "Do you keep that stick?" And he has it at his house, and the puck mark of that save. is,
Yeah,
like,
what a
still
fan.
on it.
Put that in the Hall of Fame too.
Well,
Funk.
exactly. So, but like, if they wanted that stick from him, would you? If you were Hellebuck, would you give it to him? If the Hall of Fame called you and said, we want that stick, would you give it to him?
I don't know. I'm not a goalie.
Well,
I don't fucking know. I don't know.
Yeah, goalies.
But
like-
give him the stick.
Yeah, like all of a sudden you're going to keep that.
It was a
stick.
big save, but it's
Big save.
I
It
don't
was
think the
probably
Hockey
a
Hall of Fame
game-deciding
wants it.
save,
But,
right?
well, that or McKinnon missed the net, but we don't have to go back down that road.
No, it's just about collecting.
And I just want to make something clear. I'm not bagging on Jack Hughes, boys, because this kid has done everything right, and I get it. Everything he's done has been right. He said, "I want my puck." Has it got blown out of proportion? Probably, but to me, that puck deserves to be either in the USA Hockey Hall of Fame or the Hockey Hall of Fame because it was a golden goal. So I'm not bagging on Jack. I agree that the puck deserves to be in one of those two places. So, boys, last but not least, our little intro here. Obviously, tragic news. I don't know, for a couple months ago in Rhode Island, we all know the horrible shooting where Colin Dorgan lost his mother, brother, and grandpa. Obviously, they took some time away. The Blackstone Valley Hockey Club took some time away. They started back playing, and I saw this last night on Scott Van Pelt, and SVP is one of the best in the business. So Colin took some time away, and then right before playoffs started, his coach texted him and said, "Hey, playoffs start Friday. If you want to be there, let me know." And I guess a couple hours later, Colin texts his coach and says, "I'll see you at practice tomorrow, coach." And fuck, I believe in higher powers, boys. And this kid came back. He scored the game winner in double overtime. And I believe he scored the game winner yesterday for them to win the state championship. So everything that this kid's been through, Colin, buddy, good on you. Way to come back and uppy and swishy. That's what teams are. I couldn't imagine what this kid is going through, but to come back, rally around a tragedy, and to win a state championship with your brothers, that's what hockey's all about. And that's just someone looking down this kid, and it's bigger than the game.
Yeah, no, well said, and wow.
Yeah,
Just amazing, and I'm sure there's some tears to be had and some beers to enjoy, and to do that in that fashion and to rally around, his team rally around him, the fans rally around him, the whole country and the whole hockey community. It's wild, and yeah, man, we're all just thinking about it. It's crazy. So well said.
Yeah, a sliver of brightness in a very dark time, and that affected everyone in that area. I mean, that's the same rink the Providence Bruins even practice at, and just the entire community of Providence. So we're thinking about that team. Good on you, fellas, and hopefully that brought a bright spot to just to kind of shine a light on a tough time that entire family and those affected are going through.
Yeah, like I said, it just makes me think that, there's somebody up there looking out for all of us out there. So he scored a fucking couple great goals too, great sellies, and to see those boys get it done was unbelievable. So good for those boys. We'll be right back at Missin Curfew. All right, I got to put you guys into something I've been rocking nonstop lately, GLD. Fellas, this has become one of those everyday pieces for me. If you got your go-to shoes or that one fit that always works, that's exactly what these chains are now. First off, you can feel the quality right away. It's got a nice weight to it. The details are super clean, and the stone setting is crazy in person. I've been wearing GLD everywhere, out, filming, even just day to day, and it just instantly levels up whatever I've got on. And what I like about GLD is they've got options for everyone. Whether you want something simple or you want to go all out with pendants, watches, even custom pieces, fellas, they've got it. Plus, they got official collabs with leagues like the NFL, NBA, all that. So you can actually rep your team too. And this isn't just throwaway jewelry either. Everything is backed by a lifetime guarantee. So once you get a piece, you're set. If you've been thinking about stepping up your style, this is honestly the easiest way to do it. Work hard, change the game. For a limited time only, new customers are getting an insane deal. Use code CURFEW to get 50% off at GLD.com. That's 50% off with code CURFEW at GLD.com. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Make sure you tell them the fellas sent you. Fellas, Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Get that guy a Labatt Blue. This segment is brought to you by Labatt. Brewed for the chirps, the rivalries, and the sacred art of trash talk. Labatt, brewed for the roast. Swish, you want to start us off, fella? You want to dish out an ice-cold pristine Pilsner?
Yeah, I can give one. I'm just going to give one to... I'm going to give one to the game of baseball. Now that I was back in the, down at Dade County, Miami, I'm giving one to the game of baseball. Good on those guys. I know some of those guys on the team, Logan Webb in particular, the starter for the San Francisco Giants, fell short, but it was a cool experience and a great time. So I'm just giving a Labatt Blue. They're drinking a lot of tequila down there, so just something just to kind of, neutralize yourself. Get yourself an icy cold Labatt Blue to all those people in attendance. Great event, nonetheless.
Yeah. After you drink tequila all day, the next day, just wake up with a couple cold pristine Pilsners to get you back to neutral. Get you back to neutral, Swishy.
Yeah, you got to find the pocket, and the big key is once you find it, don't leave it.
Don't leave it. All right, Swishy. Listen, boys, I'm going to dish some ice-cold, pristine Pilsners. Listen, Brandon Gallagher just played his 900th game, and I sit on this podcast a lot and say, guys don't play hard enough, and you got to compete, you got to go to the net. Well, this kid has done it for 900 games. Obviously not the biggest guy. I'll just never forget the year they went to the finals and lost to Coop and the boys in Tampa. Like, his face looked like he'd just been through a goddamn car wreck or whatever you want to call it. So, Brandon Gallagher, man, good on you, fella. You play the game the right way. Hopefully he should get to 1,000, but I take that guy on my team any day, and he's still playing it the right way. So get an ice-cold, pristine Pilsner. Erik Karlsson, listen, a couple years ago when he got his 100 points or whatever he got in San Jose, and, he won the Norris, and I was like, this guy doesn't play defense. Like, he doesn't care anymore. Well, he's turned his game around. He's got 43 apples. He's got 52 points, 13. He's plus 13. I watched him play last night. Guy was a stud, man. I mean, he played unbelievable. This Pittsburgh Penguins team it's not just by luck, man. It's not just by luck, and this guy's a big part of it. And I got to give credit to him because, Swishy, as you know, as a D-man, like, if you're going to play defense, it's just hard work. And Updog, this guy has reestablished his game. And once again, he kind of looks like the Karlsson that played in Ottawa, putting up tons of points, can play against top lines. He's absolutely dishing it out there.
Yeah, I think it falls into like a guy in his older, you play so long and you've had personal records.
Yeah.
You're playing on a team now with guys that have won Stanley Cups and Olympic gold medals, and you see the way that they still push themselves. And I think as you get older, at least it happened to me, you look around realizing it's not going to be here forever. And that kind of picks you up. It kind of puts you in a spot where you're doing little things extra. You're not just going through motions. And for a guy that relies so heavily on the offensive skill and the way he used to skate, to what you just said, to put it all together at this age, doing it for like his teammates and them being a scrappy team, still hunting it down. To me, it's he's just a pro. He's a pro. He's a good Swede. He's a great guy, and he's proving that it's not just he's making that money for a reason. So he's back on track.
Yeah, he's playing great, and we're gonna get to he's our Jäger Iciest shot of the night. Wait till you see this when he snaps home. But I got to give Kyle Dubas credit too, because I've bagged on him a lot. They got a nice mixture here, Swishy in Pittsburgh, of veteran guys and young guys. When I watched them play last night, like, obviously Malkin looks like he's got his jump back. Sid hasn't missed a beat. But then they got some young guys that Kindle. Mantha's rejuvenated his career. I just think they have a nice mix of veteran guys, superstars that have been there, and these young guys have come in and done a nice job for them.
Yeah, I mean, even the trade earlier in the season for Igor Chinnikov, he's played really well. You're looking at a guy like Justin Brazeau, who's a sneaky little find that can play in your middle six. He's got 16 goals. He's on pace for 20. Tommy Novak's had a solid season. So they have a lot of like just good middle six options. And then what Updog said, it just, when Karlsson gets around those elite players like that, for a long time, he had to be the head of the snake. He had to be the guy that was looked upon and maybe, he didn't lack motivation, but when you get around world-class players like that, there's a standard, and the standard is far beyond what you've ever been used to. So he just looks like he's even skating better, too. I know he's had growing injuries over the years, but seems like he's skating better, and the biggest thing is he's competing night in and night out, and for an offensive defenseman, that's the big thing there is you're going to do things with the puck, but what do you do away from it? And he's been really good all year.
Yeah, and I got to give him, cut him some slack. But in San Jose, on a bad team, right? He wanted to get 100 points. I get all that. But I used to watch him play. I'm like, this guy does not give a fuck. He is bought back in. And that's a great point by both you guys. When you're bumping shoulders with Crosby and Malkin, Letang, you're like, you're going to play the right way. So, and another guy they got that Ricard Raquel, man. That guy's a fucking beast. Yeah. Strong, skilled. I kind of thought this Pittsburgh Penguins team was a little smoke and mirrors. I don't think they are. So, EK65, by the way, Swishy, I think he plays with a fucking little fucking lip boomer in the whole game. Saw him the other day, literally had one in at a TV timeout and just went right to the faceoff dot. I'm like, he's playing with a chew-in.
Yeah, I think he plays a little Siberia.
Yeah.
Just to get the twinkle toes going.
Just to fucking get the heart rate up or down or somewhere.
Yeah, just dial you in. It's almost like a performance enhancer.
Yeah. Get this guy an ice cold Labatt Blue. KC, I had your Hurricanes last night. Thank fuck they ended up pulling it out for me in overtime. But Stankoven and Jackson Blake, listen, and I got to give some credit to Taylor Hall too, but I'm not giving them Labatt Blue. These two kids, they were buzzing last night. They're the reason they won the hockey game. To me, it was a little bit of the same old Hurricanes at the first, halfway through the second period. They should have been up 4-1. It was a 2-1 hockey game or something. They found a way to get it done. But Stanky and Jackson Blake, boys, get yourself an ice-cold Labatt Blue. I don't know if they got the scoring to get it done and come playoff time as a whole team, but those boys were buzzing, and you got my money line, so thank you. KC, you want to dish an ice-cold Pristine Pilsner, fella?
Kucherov and Ovechkin, both these guys sort of hitting milestones and breaking records. Kucherov has 93 points over his last 45 games. That's most by any player since Mario Lemieux in 95-96 season. So that is an impressive little feat there. He's going to have a few beers in him. And then Ovi, the guy who just keeps on scoring, keeps on going. He's had 21 seasons in the NHL, and he's got 20 of those seasons with 25 goals or more. That ties the Gordie Howe record for most in an NHL season, most 25 goals in a season. So both those guys making the motherland proud and making all the Russians out there proud. And I don't know. I hope to see maybe Ovechkin wearing the C in 2028 up in Calgary and Edmonton, but that's a whole other story. So we'll see, boys.
Yeah, I mean, Kucherov is what he's doing is insane. Yeah. I watched the Caps and Sens play last night for a bit. We had a nice little backhand tip in there, but I don't know. I watched probably a period and a half. I don't think he took one hard stride. Like, I mean, he was just like, he was using his edge work. Like, how you can just get your hips going, boys? He was just doing that around the ice. So I don't know how much the big boys got left in him.
920 goals. How hard would it be to back check?
No, I know. I can't even imagine. I guess where I'm going with it, like, does he stay in Washington or does he go somewhere else where he can just kind of be a secondary 5-on-5 guy and just straight power play weapon? Like, I don't know. I don't know how much the big boys got left in him. I think a change of scenery might give him a little boost, but I don't know if he ever wants to leave Wash.
It's going to be somewhere warm. Consider that.
Yeah, he still got 20. He got his 25th last night.
25th, yeah. 920 goals. I mean, it's insane. And I'd love to see him still go. Yeah. And to your point, I think it'd be exciting if he went somewhere else.
Yeah.
This whole thing about playing your whole career in one city, I'd like to exercise that.
Yeah, and I think obviously last year chasing down the great one, not only did it energize him, it energized that whole hockey club, right? Then you come back this year and say what you want. That Pierre-Luc Dubois has been out all year. I believe he played last night, but he's been hurt, so they have missed him. And just they haven't had that excitement swish of chasing down the goal record. And I think Ovi, to me, when I watch him play this year, I don't want to use the word bored because he's too good of a pro for that, but maybe lacking some excitement, like to get fired up, right? He's like, fuck, what am I getting fired up for here?
Yeah, and now you just traded away that guy that was slide you one-timers for the better part of 17 years or whatever it was with Johnny Karlsson. You took Backstrom. I mean, Backstrom obviously with the hip issue, but he's away from the club now. Oshie has been well on retired now for a year. Karlsson out of the mix. It seems like the old boys club there that won, you take away all your buddies. You look around, you're like, the game might have passed me by, and I might just have to go back to the guts of Moscow and play for Dynamo for a couple of years and just ride this out. I think if it's any move, Obi, I don't think it's another National League team. I think it's right back to the Continental Hockey League.
Yeah, you're probably right. And he would look so weird in a different uniform. I would just picture him down in Florida, though, ripping one-timers or something like that. But anyways, like you said, up dog, to have that many goals, he's great for the game. Boys, get those ice cold pristine Pilsners, Labatt Blues in you. Always drink responsibly. Moving on here, it is milk carton time at Missin Curfew. Thank God we're taking Sid the Kid off the milk carton. First of all, pretty quick return, right? Like MCL, like has it been
4 weeks?
Has it been 4 weeks since the Olympics, or time flies when you're getting drunk at Pebble Beach? But I thought
about a month.
About a month.
Yeah, that's standard for a guy that has legs like him.
Yeah, I just thought quick recovery or on-time recovery, I guess I should say, to your guys' point. But listen, didn't miss a beat. Jumped in there last night, snapped the opening face-off. He snapped it back so fucking quick. Bing, back. He had 1-1. It's just nice to see him back, and it's unfortunately got hurt. But I just, once again, where I'm going with this, boys, is what a pro. Like, back in there, and you got to give the Pittsburgh Penguins credit. They held the fort while he was gone, and they're right in the thick of this thing, and I don't think they're going anywhere, fellas.
No, not when you get your captain back. We would talk about just getting a sort of jolt of energy. There's no better way to do that than a guy that, you heartbreak him sitting out in the Olympic final and semis, and then for him to come back to do what he's doing. He's an ultimate pro. Nothing, no MCL injury, grade 1, grade 2 is going to affect that guy. A little different than Austin Matthews, a grade 3. It's basically off the bone. But yeah, we're excited to see him down the stretch. And Pittsburgh Penguins playoff style hockey. I've played a couple playoff rounds against those boys. It's a great city to play in. It'd be great for their fans to be back in playoffs. Great for hockey.
Yeah, Swishy. Like, remember last year we went there for the fellow tour with Labatt, and we were in that rink, and it was fucking dead, and we're like, we're ripping them how bad of a hockey club they are. Like, I would have never thought, fast forward, a year later or a year and a whatever later, they're fucking second in the Metro. Like, you got to give credit to the coaching staff and these veteran guys for fucking turning the clocks back.
Yeah, the night before, we were sitting at a place called William Penn Tavern, and my God, were we just licked watching the mistake on the lake versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, Cleveland versus the Steelers, and then the following night got pinned. But you could hear, speaking of getting pinned, you could hear a pin drop in that arena at the time. And the turnaround they've had goes, it goes to Crosby, it goes to their core group of veteran players, the young guys that have come in, but you know what? I don't want to see Coop lose out on this Jack Adams. Not that he really even gives a shit, but it would be a nice feather in the cap. But if it's going to one guy, Obes, I think it's going to Daniel Muse. And he's not a guy that exactly would be on the cover of GQ.
No.
But he has done a tremendous job there.
They got him and that Nick Bonino standing beside him. They're both just bald, eh? Fucking, I'm like, boys. But he's done a hell of a job. And you're right. God, I hope Coop can find a way to get that Jack Adams, because that's the last thing he needs in that resume. So, Sid, welcome back, buddy. You're great for the game. Sticking with the milk carton, I'm firing someone on the milk carton. Marty Necas, fella, I'm putting you on the fucking milk carton for Turnover City. I mean, listen, the Avs have played unbelievable all year. I'm not taking anything away from them. Swishy, on Tuesday, I said to Updog and Richie that I think their game's getting a little loose. And this was a quote from Nathan McKinnon. I think our lines and D pairs need to sit down, go through clips, figure out what our system is right now. Too much passing around the perimeter. Tonight was just bad too. We just played bad. It was one of those nights that we just sucked. And when I watch these guys play right now, I agree with the Nate Dog. Like, it can work in the first 60 games or whatever, but now it's getting down to crunch time. Like, Dallas went in there last night, undermanned. Yeah, Colorado probably deserved to win. Ottinger stole it. But like, when push came to shove in the third, Dallas did a pretty good job of keeping the outside. Nate would come in, tight turn. Nations would turn over in the neutral zone. So to me, as a guy who's got some money on the Avs, more straight lines, enough of this fucking drop and turning back. Like, to me, boys, it's not a good recipe to come out of the Central to be Dallas, Mini, or both.
Yeah.
You can't be turning pucks over. So, Nations, you're on the milk carton. Chip the fucking thing in every now and then and go get the goddamn thing.
Got to flick the light switch and do it early, because it's harder to do as the season goes on. And it's all fucking, one bounce here, one bounce there. But if you do the right things, those bounces usually happen to you. Yeah. But Turnover City, they're not.
I want to just parlay that with you there, Obes. Like, put the coaching staff on the milk carton for playing 11-7. As a D-man, you can't get into a flow with 7 D-man because you're playing sometimes every fourth shift if you're a guy that's, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then for the forward lines, just for the cohesion and the vibe and just, finding chemistry with a lot of different players that have been implemented in their lineup in terms of trade or guys they brought in. It's just, that never works, 11-7. It really doesn't.
It's awful. It's a great point by you. And listen, they're missing Landy, they're missing Letkinen, they're missing Ross Colton. Hopefully O'Connor comes back. Those are like their four. Those are their four, like, and Kadri, meat and potato guys. But I've watched this team play all year, and if I was on the coaching staff, which I fucking never will be, I would be concerned with some of the tendencies, and I'm glad Nate's trying to nip it in the butt right away. So, boys, last but not least here before we get to the guest, is our Jäger Iciest shot of the night, presented by Jäegermeister. Serve it cold or don't serve it at all. Jägermeister, damn, that's cold. For more information, visit Jägermeister.com and always drink responsibly. Boys, we're going back to EK65 here. I mean, I had the Canes in this game. He already sniped one before. This is to tie it up late in the third. Swishy, you're a good right-handed shot D-man. You're going to enjoy watching this, fella. This is something that I could never do. Left-handed, right-handed, whatever it was. Roll this clip here. But this is just Erik Karlsson being an elite defender. I'll take it here? No, I'm going to take it there. And spink.
Fucking A.
Damn, that's cold. I mean, it's a terrible play by the forward coming out there, but I mean, to pull it like that, get your head up and rip it cheese, that's something I couldn't do. I'll tell you that.
Stick on puck, winger, you get a breakaway.
Push him down the order. Yeah. I mean, it's a terrible play by the.
Oh, fuck, he pulled that hard.
Yeah.
That's a nice, right to the inside too, and then just
boom.
What's Freddie?
Oh, fuck. I thought it was a little more cheese than that, but still.
It was a piss missile though.
It was.
Laser beam.
And who's in front? Crosby. Look at where Sid is. Right in front of the fucking net. Like, look at double screen, Rust. Oh,
that's a great shot.
Damn, that's cold. Swishy, if you could have done that, hey, fella, hey, you could have pulled it off the wall there and fucking snapped it.
I used to do that in the American League, not in the National, for sure.
It's all about opportunity, Schmaltz.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Boys, always fun snapping around with you. We got all-time glue guy, Tyson Nash, Nasher, coming up next at Missin Curfew. Welcome back to Missin Curfew, Up Dog and Swishy Swish. Team guy here. Good Gaza Ranch fella. Hey?
Always
nice to see him at the tree bar.
Up this guy.
Good hair, teeth are shining.
Fuck, biceps are pumping.
Yeah, doesn't miss an upper body day.
I
don't know if he's doing legs, but I know he's doing chest, biceps. These are his calves. Nasher, Tyson Nash fella. Always good to see you, my man. How you doing?
I'm good, boys. Yeah, leg day comes once a month, and I pay the price after that. I'm golfing in long pants. That's all I know. Right?
Nasher, he came in here a couple weeks ago. He's like, "Oh, I just crushed a leg day," and I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "I gotta get these chicken legs looking better." I'm like, I couldn't imagine doing a leg day. I couldn't imagine.
I've been on 2 weeks now, Nasher, but I still sitting on the shitter. Bud is like brings you back to like that late May first workout of the summer, where you're just like, "Oh God, here we are again. Can't take a dump." I just, yeah, but the thing is the women in these classes are in there working harder than any of the guys. So you got to keep up, Schmaltzy, right, bud?
So that's why he's in there. That's why your wife's in there.
Yeah, well, I mean, anytime you go to a workout class, it's just to do a pre-scout, right? You always got to establish a good pre-scout. So when you go in there, yeah, it motivates you a little bit more to maybe, do those sled pulls or pushes and get in there. And yeah, dude, that's the hamstrings are always the worst, Nasher, though, if you're actually doing a leg day.
Well, I don't have hamstrings, so I'm all set there. I don't have calves either, but I'll tell you what, pole possession when you're in one of those classes, pole possession, that you got to be there. You got to be front and center. Head on a swivel, boy.
Hey, Nasher, correct me if I'm wrong, but you were started Orange Theory, or you own a couple of them or invested in them, right?
No, so yeah, crazy story. Lost all my money to financial advisor.
Oh.
We got into Orange Theories with the last few dollars that I could scrape together. We built I think we ended up building 6 of them, and thank God we sold them right before the pandemic. So I'm out, boys. I'm out. I'm good. Life is good again.
Yeah, I used to do those workouts, switching down in CDM with all the housewives. You get in there, you do the runner, the rower, and then And the girl would come over and like the instructor would be like, hey, your form. I'm like, hey, sweetheart, I'm just trying to get through this here. I know my form is piss poor, but I'd go work on that, younger girl over there or whatever. I'm just trying to get through this workout without getting hurt. But they were for me, they were pretty tough. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, it's gross. It's the heart rate, right? You can't hide. You can't cheat. But I heard you got a restraining order, Oves. You're running behind the girls on the treadmill. Let them breathe, buddy. Let them breathe.
Yeah, hey, Nasser, I'm like, I'll go to these Orange Series and then chat it up with some of the CDM's finest, the women in there. But I was so out of breath, I couldn't talk to any of them. And then by the end of the workout, I was so sweaty and so greasy. I'm like, I got to get the fuck out of here. So it kind of backfired on me, Nasser.
You're like Lindy Ruff, old Furnace face on the bench, eh?
Oh, yeah. And I could just imagine some after a long weekend, like the pure toxic waste coming out of there. I'm just like looking around at I'm like, with my towel, I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't know what to say here. I'm sorry.
Throw in a breath mint. The Russian shower, you're just covered in Drakkar Noir.
Nasher, before we talk some hockey with you, fella, how was your summer? Did you leave the property of Gaza Ranch at all? If I were you, I wouldn't. But how was it up there in God's country this summer?
Oh, it's adult playground. I mean, you guys know that. We always look forward to Missin Curfew coming up there, throwing some smiles around. I don't know how my golf game doesn't get any better when you play 36 a day. I guess just bad habits turn into worse habits. But
yeah,
I don't know if anyone has more fun. I definitely get my money's worth. I drink those comfort stations absolutely dry. They literally just stick an IV bag on me of Tito's. So it's always a good summer. Good to see the boys. Lots of hockey guys up there. We got a great golf game going. Friends, family. It's family time, right? We work so hard during the year. It's nice to just kind of get away a little bit. And I'm probably the worst golfer on the planet with the most expensive golf membership on earth. Yeah. So it's not going so well.
At least you're smart enough to not get your golf game good, because if it gets good, then your handicap's lowered. You just lose more money. So that's good for you to be smarter than most.
Handicap management, Nasher. He's got a good point there.
Oh yeah. Without it, I don't get in those games. You guys have seen my resume. I cannot afford that stuff.
Yeah, there's some big boy. Yeah, you don't want to get into the wrong money game there with Coach Payton or somebody. Eh? It's like my career earnings don't match up there, Coach. Sorry, fella. I only scored 13 goals. I can't match you, Coach.
Hey, come on, it wasn't 13.
No, that was my career. That's what I would say. That's what I would say. I'm like, I only got 13 goals.
You're not far off.
Hey, Nasher, I have heard, though, about the bull rush there, and this is a statement when it comes to Discovery properties that I've had numerous people tell me that that's the best member guest of all the Discoveries, that bull rush.
Well, I can tell you it's the most expensive member guest you'll ever have. But yeah, I mean, it's a shit show. It really is. I mean, you got everything. The show that they put on is like next level, and every year it's different. It's just everyone comes together, and it's like a kind of like a going away party, right? And in the summer, everyone just lets loose. And then that last round or whatever, I've never been in it, but the shootout or whatever they call it, I mean, there's got to be 500 people around the green, and just there's bars everywhere. And, I mean, you can't even explain it. You literally can't. I try to tell my friends, and they're like, oh my God, there's no way. I'm like, no, it's a real deal.
Trust me, there's a way, fellas. Yeah, that tree bar is my happy place. And maybe because I never have to pay, I'm always a guest, so I don't get the bill like Nasher.
Yeah.
So I really like it.
And it's strategically placed. It's on number 2. So you can't even leave the first hole no matter what you make, without having a tequila right off the hop, whether it's 8:30 in the morning or no. And maybe that's why everyone's golf game up there isn't, perfect in the summers, because everyone's just drunk.
Yeah, I mean, you're drunk when you're there. I mean, that's why it's so much fun too. Nasher, buddy, I think the last time we had you on, bud, was, when the Phoenix Coyotes, Arizona Coyotes were leaving town, and obviously it's moved on to great things in Salt Lake City. And then the Nashcast, buddy, I'm a big fan of it. How did it all come about? Where is your studio? Is it at the Delta Center, or just let our listeners know, because you've got some great guests, and it's a cool thing you're doing.
I appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, I honestly, I think every team, especially teams with history, should get into it, right? Yeah, I mean, you're streaming the game, you're sitting down like we're doing right now, and you're talking shop, you're telling stories, you're hot stoving, and it was actually Ryan Smith, the owner's idea. They didn't want to bring any of us over to Utah, which I totally get. I totally understand. They want to start fresh. Besides obviously the management and the players and the great trainers that we have there, but we're sitting around one time at golf at the Tree Bar, right? Man, Gozer's expensive. Yeah, Gozer's expensive, but I'll tell you this: like all my kids have gotten jobs. I got a job. That's where I met Ryan Smith, and he's a golfer, an avid golfer, and a damn good one too. So we're sitting there at the Tree Bar after, when you come off a round and you're all drinking, you're telling stories. There's 4 guys. Now there's 8 guys there. Now another foursome comes off, and all of a sudden you got 10 guys around this round table, and stories are flying, right? I mean, you got Gretz there, you got Elway, you got Sean Payton, you got Kelly Chase, you got Brendan Morrow, Ray Whitney, and the stories just get better and bigger. And Ryan was just like, this is unbelievable. Like, do you think you could do something like this? Like, and I'm always right in the middle of it, right? My big nose is right in there. Telling stories, laughing, and I just love it. And that literally is where the idea came, along with obviously Pat McAfee and the Peyton Manning cast. But we've had some unreal guests, and I just want to say that we're trying to raise some money. I think it's like hockey in Utah, hockey anywhere is so expensive, right? So we're trying to raise some money on the Nashcast. We got Biss coming on. Appy,
Yeah.
I think you're coming on.
I'm coming. You got my text? Yeah, I'm on Thursday night, baby. Let's go.
Baby.
Thursday.
Yeah. So we're trying to raise some money. So by the time puck drops March 26th, I'm giving away $1 for every follower that we can get. So all your Missin Curfew fans out there listening, I don't know when this will drop, but follow along. The money's going to go to youth hockey in Utah. So it's unaffordable. We know that, right, guys? So I'm trying to help out. Not asking for money, just asking for an ear or two. Just to follow, boys and girls.
It's awesome.
I like it. Nasher, you always got the good flow up top. Listen, it's like U.S. Open, like rough up there. If you put a ball in there, I don't want to hack one out of there. That thing is always nice. So you've always had the good flow up top. Now, if Utah gets into the playoffs, which it looks like they will, obviously, can you bring back the old Saber flavor, the old soul patch for playoffs? Would you bring back the old clit tickler fella?
My wife might have something to say about that one. The old stranger, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Falsey, you think the hairs get up top? You should see down below. Button on a fur coat, brother.
Yeah.
Big
Holy.
babies.
Yeah, you got to go full George W. Bush down there, eh?
I love it. I love it.
Nasher, I'll go here. It's nice to see you. I saw you on Prime the other night, looking sharp, suit on and stuff.
Yeah. Nice jacket.
What part about being close to the ice again is Tyson Nash? I always known you as my guy in Phoenix, dude. You'd be on the plane with us, and then you're the first guy in intermissions grabbing us. But you're always into the game. You're front row and center. You get a feel for the pace. What is it about that position in media that brings the best of you out?
Well, I was always the first one to the wine too. We know that on the plane. Maybe it's a good thing I got off that bird, and I'm just doing Amazon right now. But you know what I love? I mean, I don't miss playing a lick. I really don't. But I miss being around the action. I miss going out the night before the game for a big dinner with your crew, right? It's just like the boys. Those guys become your teammates and telling stories and hot stoving. And then you get into the action. You throw a suit on, whether it's a rental or not, doesn't matter. But you feel good, right? You do the hair, the suit's on, it's all buttoned up. You feel that that energy again. And that's the only thing I miss about playing besides the paychecks. I just miss the juice, the energy. So getting down there between the benches, like the other day, I was 5 inches away from Patrick Kane all night long in Detroit. I'm like, how cool is this? Like, literally watching history. And now with the playoff race, the games become that much bigger. So the adrenaline just flows. And I don't know, I think when you retire, you lack something, you miss something, and you go searching for it. And it's tough to find. And I'm just glad I found it in broadcasting.
Nice. Nasher, one more thing is remind me, but did you take over for Darren Pang, like in Phoenix at the time when we were there? Was Panger in that sort of spot before you, and then he went to St. Louis, or
Yeah. So how that worked is actually Louis DeBrusque was the guy who left. So he went to Edmonton, and I worked 1 year with Panger for radio. And then even back then, there was all the rumors, are we staying? Are we going? They were starting to circulate, right? So Panger, he could work anywhere. He's the best in the business. He's like, I'm out of here. I'm going to, security, right?
Yeah. Gretz is leaving. I'm out of here too. Yeah.
Exactly. I think he stuffed him in Gretz's bag. That attaché case. But yeah, that's how it all happened. Awesome. But it was the best decision you could make. If you could do something you love when you retire, and honestly, like my broadcasting career has actually it's not hard to beat, but it's been better than my hockey career.
Yeah, I watched that game the other night there. You said you were close to showtime. He had it on a string for you that night. I mean, he looked like vintage. I thought it was back in 2008 though at the United Center. He was dancing that night.
Oh, him and DeBrincat. So yeah, you did feel like you're back at the United Center. It's just watching him, his longevity, the points that he just continues to put up. I think he's got another 40-point year. Obviously his roles, diminished a little bit, but breaking the record, best U.S. foreign player ever. I mean, he's up there in goals now, right behind Keith Tkachuk, who we better see him in the Hall of Fame. Are you kidding me? That's still, it drives me crazy, but you love to see it, right? Patrick Kane is just, he's a staple.
Yeah, Showtime, baby.
Yeah, what
Showtime. Showtime still doing it all.
Probably got a huge wrench. Guy's got it all. Softest mitts, biggest wrench.
Look who's talking.
Nash, I just want to talk to you about the Utah Hockey Club. Obviously, they've come a long way from playing at the Mulled Arena, and you talked about Ryan Smith and everything's first class, but for them to be buyers at the deadline here, they're in a playoff position right now. For a guy who's been around Clayton Keller, Nicky Schmaltz, Lawson Krause, the guys that go on and on, like, how happy are you that they were in that position? How much credit you got to give the whole organization, that they are a contender now?
Yeah, and you know what? I go back to Clayton Keller at the start of the year. I mean, he dropped the bomb. I do not think that Bill Armstrong and Andre Tourney were ready to have that word playoffs be said, right? I think they were like, not yet. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. Let's see how the first month or two goes. But Clayton Keller finally, and I love it because now it's accountability, right? Now the clock starts. I am so done of teams rebuilding, and that team in particular. We're rebuilding, we're bankrupt, we're this, we're that. No. Like, you go to that place in Arizona at the time, rebuilds, you go there to die, right? That's where your career literally goes to die. Like, you got to win. You got to be in the playoffs. Like, no one's watching your games if you're last place every single year. So the fact that Clayton Keller threw that out there, put the pressure on himself first and foremost, and the rest of the group to be like, hey, it's playoffs or this is considered a dud of a year and a season. So they got the fans behind them. The excuses are out the door. They're not playing at the Mullet anymore. They got unlimited funds with Ryan Smith, the practice facility, the game rink. I mean, you name it. Schmaltz, you've been there a number of times. It does not get any better I'm not even saying hockey. I'm saying in pro sports. And that's the number one question I always get is it really that nice? Is it really that great? And it really is all those things on top of the fact that you got Park City, you got Deer Valley, 30, 40 minutes away. It's a destination for players to come there. And not only that, they have a team now that is worth something, right? You got, of course, Keller, you got Schmaltz now, long-term deals both. Love the fact that they signed Schmaltz to that deal, and the cap is going up. So that $8 million is going to turn into $4 or $5 million, right? So that's very doable. Ryan Smith's not worried about the money. He's worried about the cap. And now you got Gunther and Cooley and TJ Ginla coming down the pipeline. So this team is going to be, if they get in, which I think they will, to your point, they're going to be good for 10 years.
Yeah, Nash, you just mentioned even Mackenzie Weegar's, just showing the ability to waive his no move to come to Utah, then obviously locking down my bro. But I want to talk about one kid, and I just don't think he gets love around the league, but I don't think the common fan knows truly how good he is and his trajectory to be what he's going to be. I think he's a guy that could score 50, and that is Dylan Gunther. This kid has a release like an Asian masseuse, and the way he can shoot the puck is incredible. And you've seen it firsthand. We've sat on the glass together. Just talk about this kid. Like, he doesn't need any time, and he can literally score just getting over the blue line. It's crazy.
And he's not a man yet. I mean,
No.
he's 22. So, I mean, you guys know, like, I don't know, I was probably at my best at like 26. So he is just coming into his own, literally. And he scores the biggest of the big goals. I mean, when they need a game tied, he's the guy scoring the goal, game winner. We saw that World Juniors, Team Canada. He's the guy. I always said initially, and it's getting closer and closer, I was like, he's a poor man Steven Stamkos. I mean, the way he shoots the puck, you can put it anywhere too. You know, some guys, you had to put it in perfect position. Not Gunther. You could put it ahead of him, behind him, between his legs. He is letting that thing fly. And wait till he gets that man strength. He's got 33 goals right now, I think. He's going to finish with probably 40. And then he's going to be one of those guys that if they get in the playoffs, he's going to be our go-to guy. Bigger the stage, the bigger he shines.
Now, sure, just a little bit about the room. You've obviously been around a room, played. You came up through Kamloops, had epic teams there, but you know, your career and then into post-hockey career with the media, the room that these guys have, and just for example, Mackenzie Weegar waiving his no trade to come to a group like this. Like, what is it about the room that is special? I talked to Ryan Smith after the Mackenzie Weegar trade, and I pumped up the fact that you got to have a great room for a guy like Weegar to come there. You know, it must be known. Like, what is it that you see with this group of guys? Is it them hanging out together? Is it them going up to Park City on days off together? Is it a tight group? And like, you know, well, what's that vibe you see from this young group?
Yeah, that's a great point because you do need a tight group. You need a locker room that goes to bat together. I mean, you wonder what's going on in that locker room in Toronto when no one stands up for their captain, Austin Matthews, let alone a player on their team, right? Like, I mean, all you guys, I mean, we're cut from the same cloth. Anyone breathes on our captain, we are coming out of our skin, right? And I think we have a lot of that in Utah. These guys love each other. They really do. They love to hang out. And I think Ryan and Ashley's game plan in building the practice rink and building the locker room at Delta Center is to make it so damn nice that no one ever wants to leave. You go there for 3 meals a day if you want. They got a barber in there. They got a state-of-art weight room. You should see like the red light therapy and all the therapy beds and hydration beds. And I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. And guys don't leave. They go there and they hang out. And this place is so nice. You guys, I wish I could show you pictures. It's nicer than any house that I've been in. Fireplace, granite walls and ceilings and artwork. And it is like so next level. I can't even explain it. So the guys just become tight. Not only on the road, we used to get tight as players, right? Having the team dinners, and that's what it kind of took. Playing cards in a guy's room after dinner. But now these guys are literally spending all day together, and it means something. And the message is getting around the league. And to your point, Uppy, like guys want to come there and wait till free agency and wait till the team starts getting better. Like it's all the things right now.
Yeah, and it starts at the top, right? We all know that as ex-players, like ownership, Ryan Smith, it starts with him, and now everyone around the league knows it. And Nash, you kind of teed me up. You mentioned the Leafs there, how bad of a look it was, you know, when no one jumping in for their captain. When I look at this Utah Mammoth Hockey Club, man, they got some team toughness, right? McBain, obviously the spicy tuna O'Brien, Krause, Tanev, Weegar can chuck him. Sergachev has some bite for a Russian. Like, when this team does get in the playoffs, is that something you think they can lean on, is that team toughness and maybe not intimidate teams, but play a physical brand of hockey?
Yeah, I sure hope so. Just because we've been known, and I mean, you know, we are still small. Our skill is small, right?
Yeah.
But I don't worry so much about that because when you do look around the league, like some of the best players in our game are small, right? I mean, you look at Patrick Kane. We just touched on it. Sidney Crosby's not a giant. McDavid's not big. I mean, McKinnon is built like a fire hydrant, but besides him, right? I mean, there's not a lot of super talented guys that are big. So playoff time, we know, is a different brand of hockey. And I cannot wait to see what this team does because we don't know, right? They really haven't made the playoffs in like forever. So what's a Clayton Keller going to do? We didn't see a lot of him at the Olympics. You know, is he going to rise? How is he going to do in that physical type game? You know, but now when you have guys like McBain and Krause, and as you mentioned, you're going to see Tuna You're going to see Tanev. That's why he was signed. You got some size on the back end with Cole as well. Marino, who I just love, didn't know a lot about his game. He's really surprised me. And then you got Sergachev. You guys won cups. So this team is starting to be built the right way because it's a copycat league, right? When you look at Florida, you look at Tampa, you have to take pages out of their book because it works.
Nasher, I want to send it out east right now. You're in Secaucus, New Jersey, but I want to stay on the front of something over there on the East Coast. And I'm going to, Chippewa Street. All roads lead back to Buffalo, and especially Chippewa Street. So are you buying the buzz with the Buffalo Sabres? Is this team legit? To me, in my eyes, the East is wide open, but are you buying the juice? Are you drinking the Labatt Blue on the Buffalo Sabres?
Oh, I'm chugging it right now. I'm not a beer guy, but I'm chugging it right now. I love it. And I love it for a couple reasons. Just because Buffalo has had such a bad rap for so long. But as players, when we go there, it's so much fun. That is a place that I look forward to going to. Bars are open till 4 a.m. Yeah. That's an absolute killer. And everyone doesn't go out till like midnight, right? I'm getting old. I go out at like 7 o'clock now, and I'm home by 9. But it's a crazy town. The fans, they have just been banged up and beat up, right? For how many years with this Buffalo Sabres team. And now they come out of it. I don't think there's a professional, a media person on the planet that had them doing what they're doing this year. So you love the Cinderella stories. The guy you feel bad for is like the guy who probably is going to win GM of the year is going to be Kevin Adams, and he doesn't have a job anymore.
No kidding.
He ain't touching that trophy. No chance.
I mean, he put this team together, and the day he got traded was the fucking day we were in Buffalo, or day after.
Yeah, the stink started to go away.
Yeah, but he's like that. Nasher said he's built this hockey club, right, Nasher?
Yeah, he kind of has. I'm not a huge fan.
No, me either.
Yeah, I used to chase him around, but you know what? Like, you gotta give credit where credit's due. I mean, he built the majority of this team. They added pieces, but if he didn't do what he did, they're not adding pieces at the deadline, right? And now they're sitting at they're first place right now. They're ahead of Tampa. I mean, Tampa's fallen off in a big way, but my God, who had Buffalo doing what they're doing? And not only that, I think they can do some damage in the playoffs. So I can't wait to see what this team does. They're riding a high.
Yeah, and you're right about Chippewa Street. We went in there for a fellow tour with our good friends at the Bat Blue, and Nasher, I get there, it's like 4 a.m. last call. I'm like, I forgot about that. Yeah. And like,
overshot the
record. We were out till 4. And by the way, it just hurts, eh? You're like, oh man, that just hurts nowadays.
Someone please change this. Yeah. Bring it to 2 o'clock.
Back in the day, I was good with 4 a.m. Now I'm like, don't let me stay out till 4 a.m. Don't give me that option of drinking pints till then.
Nasher, I want to go back to Ryan Smith for 1 sec. Fucking shoe collection's unreal. What kind of kicks is this guy wearing on the wood? And have you seen that office he has with all his shoes like behind him? When he's come on our pod, he makes sure that that's his backdrop because the guy's got a fucking nice collection.
You should see that they have a place quarantined off in the equipment room for all his shoes. Like in the equipment room, he's taken a couple of shelves for his shoes. Like, I guess if I'm worth, I don't know how many billion he's worth. I mean, I'm doing it too, right? I'm pulling out all the stops. This guy is an absolute hoot. And you think about it, right? What's he for? He's 46, right? And he loves to spend it. He's the most generous guy on the planet, and he just gets it, right? He is so smart in his own right, but I sat next to him at a Jazz game on the floor after they got fined the first time. And we were just shooting the shit all night long. And he just fires questions at you because he wants to learn, right? He wants to learn about the game and the business and the players and how they think and all the stuff. Like, I find that fascinating because I think you meet a lot of those really rich dudes and I think they know everything, right? And this guy doesn't. He is the salt of the earth and he wants to win. I can tell you that. He's like, how did we get this guy? How do we get that guy? And I'm like, wow, they got no trades and signs for the next 8 years. And, your hands are tied in a lot of ways. But if he could buy it, he certainly would for his community. And that's what he refers to the fans there in Utah. It is a community of of his people, right? And that's what they built, and they show up, man. It's a basketball town, but it is surely coming a hockey town right in front of our face.
Yeah, he's a beauty too. He can chirp. I was at Gaza Ranch a couple years ago, and VC Victor Coleman is like, "Yeah, right. Yeah, Smitty, the NBA is a fucking joke. It's terrible." He's like, "Well, it can't be that terrible, VC. We just signed a $7 billion TV deal." I'm like, "Yeah, that's a good point." He's got you there, VC. Like, it can't be that shitty when they just signed a $7 billion. So he's got some wit to him too, Smitty.
Oh yeah, and look at everything the guy touches turns to gold. Like, I think everyone around the league was like, "You bought the Coyotes for $1.2 billion? Are you out of your mind?" Well, now what's it worth?
Yeah.
Like, it's worth $2 billion, right? I mean, minimum. So, I mean, everything the guy touches is gold. The Jazz, the same thing. I think he paid, I don't know what it was, but it was it was low. And now it's for sure double. So all the guy does is print money.
Nash, we're getting back to the Mammoth as a hockey club here. You mentioned how, their superstars are a little undersized, and I would agree with that, and I like their team toughness. When I look at their back end, though, it's got everything to me. It's got skill, it's got toughness, it's got guys that'll block shots, it's got a couple Stanley Cup champions. Assuming they're going to get in, we all think they're going to get in. I look at their back end as guys are going to have to lean on come playoff time because of the inexperience up front. Would you agree with that?
1,000%. I mean, it always comes down to your goaltender, right? And your defense and how you play team defense. And I think that's also a strength of this team is that they're all willing to play a 200-foot game, right? They know they don't have, the super elite superstars in the National Hockey League. So they have to do it by committee, and they're happy to do it. That's also what brings them together, is because everyone feels so valuable, right? It's like everyone has a role, everyone has a job to do. And that's credit to Andre Tourigny for giving everyone that responsibility, because I've also been on teams where it's pretty shitty, where you're just a pawn, right? You're going to play your 5 minutes to rest some of the big boys, right? And that's all you're going to see, regardless of how well you play. Mm-hmm. And Andre Tourigny, he doesn't give a shit. If you're playing well, you're going to play that night. That's the beauty of it. That's what a player's coach is. Yeah. Is that, some nights I didn't have it, but some nights I did. And some coaches were like, doesn't matter. But Andre Tourigny would see that, and he'd be like, all right, let's get him out. Let's go. Right. It's a feel for the bench. And that's certainly his strength. And you're right. Our back end is the strength of this team, led by Sergachev. This guy is so much better than I ever thought he was, you guys. I wasn't sure, because he wasn't the top guy in Tampa. He was like the number 3, right? And now he's the number 1, and that's certainly a different animal, and he is thriving.
Hey, I'll tell you where else he's thriving is these outfits he wears into the game with the leather jacket. And I'm like, this guy's ready to go right downtown Moscow and mix it right now till 4 a.m. I'm like, this guy looks like a beauty.
You love a good leather.
I love a good leather jacket, Nasher.
Yeah, I still am on the fence about all that stuff, man. I'm like, well, like, we're not basketball. No. Like, I don't know. It just, I don't know. When I see Simashev, like, that's our first round pick from a few years ago, I am like, are you so worried about your pregame outfit that are you focusing on the game? Like, throw the suit on, boys. Yeah. Like, throw the business suit. It's business. Let's go. Throw the suit on and let's rock and roll. I don't know. Like, showing up in a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, I'm like, come on.
Yeah, and Nasher, I'm with you on that. Like, when it came out, the opportunity, these guys are going to be able to wear whatever they want, I kind of liked it. I was like, oh, we're going to be able to see the creative side of these guys. But I'm with you. I miss just throwing on the suit, coming in, looking sharp, like Grapes always used to say. So I'm with you, Nash. I don't think we're ever going to get back there, but I do miss the boys walking in, looking like pros.
And Nasher, don't worry, your suits will never go out of style, buddy. You got some rock star suits there. Those are going to be nice and hugging that nice closet for a while, always in style.
There's a couple of naked mannequins. I got to admit, up on Canal Street. That's where I ripped that one off. I love it.
Nasher, last one for me, buddy. I haven't had the opportunity to be up to Salt Lake yet. These two beauties have. I'm going to try to get there come playoff time. But one of the things I'm excited to see is what the Delta Center will be like. I remember the old school days back with MJ and the Jazz and the fans there. And is that something that everyone around that city is looking forward to? Is that Delta Center being as loud, rocking as it was back in the day for basketball?
Well, first of all, Oaks, we're getting you guys all up there for
Yeah.
Nashcast. I know we're having Uppy on. You've been dodging me. I know that. We tried to have you up a few weeks ago. But you got to come. You really do. It is next level. When you see a girl on the beer chugging Jumbotron cam, chugging out of her prosthetic leg a beer, I mean, you're like the place went nuts. And I went there thinking, oh, man, I'm not going to be able to have a couple drinks after the game, or, like I thought it was, what you hear. Not even close. You can hydrate with the best of them. I think they set a record at the Delta Center for the most beer drank of any facility, I think, in that year anyway. So playoffs will be next level. So I hope the boys can do it. They're pretty darn close. They got to keep this thing on the tracks. They're a little bit shaky right now. They lost 4 of their last 5. They're getting points still, but they need their big boys to step up in a big way to carry this through.
Yeah, I hope they get in. Like you said, we don't want to get too carried away here. We don't want to jinx the boys. But Nasher, man, you're the best, buddy. Appreciate everything you've done. You're always great to Missin Curfew. You're good for the game, buddy. Keep it rocking, and good luck there in Secaucus, New Jersey, fella. That'll build some character there for you, fella.
I'm looking for my bulletproof vest right now before I get down to the studio. But boys, I love you guys. Your show kicks absolute ass. And hey, Frozen 4. I don't know if it's still in the works. We got to talk about it if you guys are interested, but we want to head up there and take care of business.
Yeah, Frozen 4, we can, in Vegas, 100%, fella. Let's lock that in. Welcome back to Missin Curfew, Up Dog, Swishy Swish. Thanks to our boy Tyson Nash. I got to be honest with you. Every time I see Nash, he's always the same, just like laughing, joking, rips himself. He loves ripping himself more than anyone I know, and that's a nice quality to have, Swishy. When you can make fun of yourself, you can play on my team any day, and Tyson Nash does that.
Yeah, good guy, good chin, good hair, good suits. I mean, he's always walking around. I always ask him, like, Nasher, like, who shot the couch with that suit? I mean, he's always got a good look on him. But beauty, local guy here in Scottsdale. So anytime I see him, it's just like playing with one of those guys. I never played with him, but it feels like I played with him for like 10 years.
Yeah. No, same here. Never played with them.
Yeah.
Probably have only hung out with them a couple times at Gausser, maybe a night here, maybe a night in Scottsdale at the Wasted Management. I bump into him. But I mean, a handful of times. And anytime I talk to him on Missin Curfew or do anything with him or just text him with him, I feel like I played with the guy for 10 years. So that's probably the ultimate compliment, Swish.
For sure. Yeah, he's good at what he does, boys. He's done it for a sneaky long time too. Like, between the glass, media. I mean, he's got to be working on almost 20 years, at least, 15. So always a pleasure to talk to him. He's a good dude for sure.
I'm glad he sold those Orange Theories. I wasn't trying to bring up fucking sour grapes there, but at least he sold them before he...
I threw out a couple money bombs there. So I think that was one good one. I mean, we can all use a good bounce in the financial department, no matter who we are. Especially, I know a bunch of guys that went through the situation he was in with their old crook of a financial advisor stole all their money. But yeah, I during COVID, fucking, those bikes, the at-home workouts were going through the roof. Valuation,
Pelotons.
the valuation for Peloton fucking went skyrocketing. Later, just crashed when everyone's like, I hate riding a bike and I want to get out of the house. And the reasons that Schmaltz
Stairs or house-wise,
yeah. So, good for him. The Orange Theory thing was never my thing. I'm not a big runner. Hate running.
Yeah.
And fucking rowing is just painful too.
Rowing's tough. I didn't like the rowing.
But for the quality eye candy that you get in there here, especially in Corona Del Mar, it's probably worth the price of subscription.
It worked out a couple times for me. Not on the property, but Orange Theory and Bandera are like neck and neck in CDM, Swishy. So I was working at Orange Theory at the time when I was single, and then a couple times I went into Bandera and I was at the bar there, and I'm like, hey, don't we do Orange Theory together?
Oh, so that's a good in.
Boom. The rest, as they say, Swish, is history, my friend.
Yeah. Don't hit yourself on the way out. Thank you. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. Thank you to Tyson Nash. Fuck, boys. I want to get up to Mammoth, but it's looking like we're going to Buffalo. So Buffalo's going to have home ice. The only thing that up-dog that's going to fuck us is, not fuck us, but Stagecoach is that weekend.
That's a 7-game series, bud.
So we go back up to Utah for game 6. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Utah, by the way, direct shot here from Orange County. It's just fucking really easy to get in and out.
Yeah, but they're not going to have home ice.
Elbow.
So the playoffs are supposed to start April 18th, Saturday.
April, yeah.
And the next weekend, Stagecoach. So we might be able to, we'd be limping into Stagecoach, though. That would, imagine you went Buffalo, Utah, Stagecoach. Oh, man. I don't think I could do it, Swish.
No, that's you. I mean, anyone doing that would be on Jammer watch. Yeah, and I mean, you gotta get some waters in it. That's Buffalo to Soak City, right into Stagecoach. Yeah, you might have to call your local physician and just be cleared for contact for that weekend because that's a runner.
The only thing that would help me there is
screamer.
Is IVs, or we can get IVs there.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, we're going to be able to plan it where we're hitting both and we're doing some great stuff in both cities. And we're going to still be able to manage Stagecoach.
I'll tell you what, right now, first round matchup would be the Utah Mammoth versus the Anaheim Ducks, with the Ducks having home ice right now.
I'll just get on the Ducksburg and head out there.
I'd rather go to Salt Lake City than the Honda Center. I think it's easier to get to Salt Lake City, to be honest with you. I just got to go to John Wayne.
Could be.
It could be easier, but thanks to Nasher. Swishy, thank you, my man. Updog, always fun. Thank you to Hall Pass Media. Kyle, Casey, Conway, Max, the Ice Pick pickup. That was Missin Curfew, fellas.